I've been watching for the last couple of days the Ed Gein thing on Netflix. I suppose it is. Ed Gein. Ah, how are you? Try to make a connection between what I'm talking about and Ed Gein. It's the heads. It's the fucking heads. Been watching this thing for the last couple days, and I've seen documentaries about Ed Gein, this thing called Monster Ed Gein or something on Netflix. I've seen things about him before, documentaries, and it's like, oh, that guy's fucking terrible. And he say, well, that's how things go. And they don't have video footage. They've only got pictures of that weird little guy. I don't even like to say it because I think he's beyond just a weird little guy. I don't know if he's even fucking dead. He could show up tomorrow. That's not somebody I want to deal with. How can you predict what that weird little guy would do if he had a vendetta against you? I've been watching these things for the last couple of days. And, well, it's creeping me out to no end to think that there's somebody out there. When you see this, somebody once told me, they didn't tell me, they just said, and I read, it said 90% of it's fake. But all the stuff that I see that is the basis for what might be fake, because they can only imagine what was going on behind the scenes because nobody was talking. Oh my God, the horrific shit. You see pictures? Let's watch somebody act it out. This is some of the most horrific shit I've ever seen. You wonder why people appreciate Ed Gein. He just seemed like a weird little guy, but when you see it all played out, it's like, it's heads. You've got people getting in touch with him, talking about the heads. And you've got Richard Speck, who I'd only heard of before, but I didn't know what the fuck. Oh, he's a student. Ed didn't know he had students. This is what happens when you take a person with an IQ of about 53. I just made that up number because I'm looking at him and I think he's probably 53. He's good enough to do okay, but he's not somebody that's reliable from day to day if you expect to put your boots on and go to work. Don't bend over to tie your shoes. Ed might hit you in the back of the head with a fucking piece of firewood as a joke and kill you. This is not about Richard Speck liking Ed Gein and sending pictures and doing things. this is even worse. You think, okay, we've got maniacs that are in prison somewhere else that are writing a letter. But when you look at the next step, you've got all these women wanting to marry them. I'm not just saying women, it just happens to be, that it's a guy that's been cutting the heads off people and fucking them up. It just happens to be there women that write these maniacs letters. And when I see that they are writing these maniacs letters in love with them, sometimes marrying them, I guess they must get away with coming in and banging them every once in a while if they give the guard a blowjob on the way in. But the truth is, you think of, okay, everything's all right. If Richard Speck is writing fucking Ed Gein letters, they're both fucked up. But when you take into consideration that there are people, persons, people in some weird way, people, they don't fucking trust each other anymore, and I trust you. There are people that are trying to be close to this maniac that's just the biggest monster possible. If you take into consideration how many people, ladies, that are free and walking amongst us, you consider they're writing a letter to a guy like that and saying, I'm going to fuck you and I'm going to marry you. And if I could only be lucky enough, I could have your child. This tells us what it all looks like. Might as well not even read the statistics, just understand that there are people out there like this, and just say, it's not headless, it's mindless. We have people walking around that think it's okay to have fucking fish heads nailed to a wall. This is our new fucking sovereign nation. Yeah, you won't have to take away visas. People will be too frightened to even come around.